Alright, I don't know if y'all can see it, but right down there, I'm gonna come back later and show you in the video. See at the top of that hill where you can see the lights. You see a car coming to the top of that hill, and then you see the lights. That's where I seen the blue lights on from the guy I thought was a cop. There's cars coming in this direction towards him that are pulling over because it's 2 lane. You see right here, they're pulling over in the grass because we see cars coming. I started to go, but when I seen the blue lights way down there, I stopped right here waiting on him to come. Blue lights are still on. See how long it's taking these cars to get here? Now he's flying, so he's coming up on us quick, 80, 90 miles an hour. And then, bam, he gets over here. There's New Hope Church. He gets over here to about right here where he's starting to come up on traffic, and more traffic's coming in both directions. He turns his blue lights off about right here. So I make a left. I'm behind him, and that's when, if you look in the video, I'm finally getting the camera on and everything else, and I chase him down. I high beam him, flashing my high beams at him, and he finally pulls over, and then y'all see the rest. So for the guy to say, oh, it was an accident, I hit it with my knee, I heard it and I turned it off. No, you was flying 80 to 90 miles an hour down this 45 miles an hour through here, but it was 50 where he was at the time. But once he approached through here, as you seen the sign, it said new speed 45 miles an hour. It only went down 5 miles an hour, but it's because of this new industrial parkway right there that we just passed, and this one that we're coming up on. So anyway, when I'm upset, someone's lying to me, I don't think of everything. I should have pressed him more, but man, I'm on the way to work. I don't have much time in life. The way I look at it, I'm battling cancer, dude. All right, I just left Texas a couple weeks ago. I'm having an ablation on my liver at MD Anderson Cancer Center, and I'm having chemo every other week now for the weekend. I get it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So make no mistake, I don't have time to be sitting here arguing with people, especially when they're gonna lie. But I guess I should have played it and said, hey, you're trying to make it sound like this and that, because people are like, he probably hit it by mistake. Well, go on YouTube and look at every police impersonator that ever gets caught. That's the first thing they say. Oh, I bumped it with my knee. Look at it. I'm not making that up. They always say I bumped it with my knee. Or the second one is, I was reaching for the radio or reaching for something and I hit the switch, whatever. But it's never an excuse. It's impersonating a police officer. This guy's not a cop. He works for Berkeley County in some form, I guess. He had a Berkeley County ID badge on, and then I've had some people come and say, yeah, he's a real good guy, he ain't a liar, this, that, no. Okay, well, his version just doesn't match the true version. That's just all it is to it, But later on, I'll see if I can put like a marker down there. I don't know how far the camera will film, but I'll just drive that way and I'll show you where the top of the hill is, and then I'll show you where the church is and where his lights was on and off. And so anyway, you're going to get trolls and haters, but when you're out here doing this, okay, when you're out here doing all this and you're trying to hold cops accountable, it's a nerve-wracking thing for yourself. I didn't know this guy wasn't a cop. I was trying to redress my government, right? This cop who's going to speed past me with his blue lights on, pull me or make me stop where I was going to turn, because what was using me turning ahead of him, I seen him coming, so I wasn't going to pull out in front of him and make him actually pull me over. So I packed up and stayed right there at the stop sign. Other people going in his direction, going towards him, was moving over to the right-hand side. He's seen all that. There ain't no doubt in my mind he's seen all that. So he just was trying to lie. He's just a police impersonator that was trying to make up a lie. Let's see who that is. Good morning, Attorney Guns. How you doing today? Good to see you in the house. I'll go back later and make you a mod. Thanks for showing up. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I did a video where I hold cops accountable. There guy who was flying down a 50-mile-an-hour road, a residential farming community, sort of what you call it, because like farming properties around. And anyway, he was flying with blue lights on. People was moving out his way. Oncoming traffic was moving over. I was showing the video this morning. If you go back to the beginning, you'll see that it's a 2-lane road with grass on both sides. You know what I mean? Ditches. So people was moving all over to the grassy area a little bit because he was flying so fast with his blue lights on coming towards them. Oh, great. So, you know, all right, appreciate it. I'm gonna make you a mod. I appreciate you showing up. Anyway, okay, great. Well, then you know what's going on. I'm just explaining because I had some trolls come in and they're like, oh, y'all know he's there you go, you're a mod, appreciate it. He's a felon. Okay, whatever, 33 years ago, yeah, I made some mistakes. Or actually before that, too, I made some mistakes in my life as a younger man, you know what I mean? I sold some of God's flour. I did. I made a mistake. They called me Daddy Weed. I sold a lot of weed. I did. I ain't gonna lie. I did it. But why they arrest you for it? Read Genesis 1, verse 29. Behold, I, being God, have given you every herb, which that's what it is. Every herb bearing seed on the face, and every tree with fruit with seed in it on the face of the whole earth, as meat for you or food for you, depending on what version of the Bible you're reading. So why are you messing with us for smoking God's weed? I wouldn't know anyway. But that's stuff I did when I was younger, and I got arrested for it, and did my time. And then later in life, also, I was we ran a confidence game. We did insurance scams. I was a con man. You know, worked at a pawn shop that we took in stolen goods. And you know, we was dealing drugs and all kind of stuff. But all that's in my past. That was over 33 years ago, and I turned myself in. I was on the run. Okay, yeah. I had, and I've admitted this many times, I had other driver's license with my picture on it. That's how I was able to, because I knew one day, my mother was, one day, I might get found out, and I would end up going to prison, and my mother get old and sick, and I might not be there for that. And I didn't want her to pass. I said, you know what? I was a businessman. I had been doing good. I'd been in church. I was going to Seacoast Church. I was doing really good. It's a large church. It's a large church today. It had thousands and thousands of members, and so. But I was going to church as me with a driver's license with my picture with someone else's name. So if I left and got pulled over, I wouldn't go to jail. But so I'm not living as a true Christian. I'm living a lie. So I decided, you know what? I need to stop living this life. Well, my brother, who, you know, I'll give him credit. He did a lot of bad things, you know, in my life. He molested me when I was a child one time, which is the worst thing that ever happened to me in my childhood life. But, you know, whatever. But one of the good things he did was, because I was going to church there, and I had made a friend. I didn't know he was going to church there at the time. I had an ad in the phone book, and he called me, you know, for my business. He called me to do some work for him, and then we realized we both went to Seacoast Church. And he was a great lawyer, and you know, he knew me. He knew my real name, because in my business I was presenting myself as me. But if I ever got pulled over for something, I had that. And so I didn't want to tell him, though. I was kind of embarrassed, and we was newly friends, and so, but you know, several months later, my brother decides, hey, you know what, I want to help him get out of trouble. So he goes to Thad, and he tells Thad, look, he's a good guy. He's been out of trouble for years. He's been going to church. He runs a good business. He's doing the right thing, except for he's not himself, and he's got all this following him, you know, and he's just scared to come talk to you. Because I was wanting to hire another lawyer, Andy Savage, and not even tell Thad, you know, which again in itself was why am I hiding it? You know, I'm a Christian. You know, let it come to light. So anyway, finally, my brother told him, and then Thad came to see me and was like, could have told me, you know, what's going on, this, that, and the other. Anyway, long story short, I turned myself in. Dad came to the rescue, and you know, he got rid of the bogus crimes. Mainly why I don't like cops is because other cops watched this dirty cop add charges to me that wasn't true. He was adding bogus charges because he was a dirty cop that worked for the pawn shop that, you know, we was all tied together with. He would tell us, you know, hey, this is, you know, they're watching this, that, and other. Don't take nothing from this person. He got busted. So when they come in there, they're bringing you stuff. They're watching him. That's how we was able to run it so long. And so when me and the pawn shop people, we had kind of like a falling out over some cocaine and stuff. And that was actually the problem with her sister. So anyway, long story short, the guy tried to just add all these charges to me. Well, I knew a bunch of stuff on him. So I told my lawyer. The lawyer went to him and said, hey, look, he's going to start discussing all this stuff. So then all these charges all of a sudden fell off that he had control over. So that helped me out a lot because I was going to expose him and everything else. And so then I was willing to admit to what I did. So I admitted to the rest of the stuff. I pled guilty, paid my debt to society, and here I am 30-something years later. True businessman. So why? The honest businessman. On the way to church right now. So why is it bad for me to hold the government accountable, to hold cops accountable? Why not? Why is it bad for citizens that sees cops, especially, y'all look up the laws in my state, in South Carolina. Cops are not allowed to fly down this interstate, especially if you look at the Charleston County cop. He was out of his jurisdiction. But he's doing 100 miles an hour in a 60 mile an hour or 65 mile an hour zone at times, and then he acts like it's okay. It's not okay. So, you know, it's called civil disobedience, like the queen of, and people will say, oh, she was a plant. Well, whether she was or what, she was the queen of civil disobedience, and she started the civil rights movement in a good way. You know, all I want is for a cop, if you're a good cop and you say you're a good cop and maybe you've never violated citizens' rights, but you've watched another cop, go look at my video, the one that says, a cop snatched my door open for videoing. I wasn't doing anything wrong. The restaurant parking lot I was in was open except for when he got there, it just closed at 10 o'clock. But he had no legal right to trespass me from there. Now, of course, I had my dogs with me, and I'm not going to let some psychopath. I seen a guy the other day, man, I love him to death. I subscribed to his channel, but he went ahead and went back on property where she had legal right to do, but he took his dog on oddity onto a piece of property that when he got arrested, now his dog is in control of these people. And you look at what they do to people's animals. They will shoot a little Pomeranian, dude. Are you kidding me? A little Pomeranian. Just like a couple months ago. Look at what happened just a couple weeks ago. They're always shooting your animals, man. That's just the honest truth. Don't block me for saying it, YouTube. It's just the truth of what happens. So I would never let, if it's like, okay, give up a little bit of my rights to make sure my dogs do not get to be a part of these people's custody, make no mistake, I'm gonna do that. I'll let them look. You can see my ID, whatever. You don't want me back on public property, fine. I'll deal with that through the court system. But I'm not gonna let you arrest me and then have control of my dog, or you do whatever you know what with. So, but anyway, all right. Well, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and pull over here and grab some breakfast real quick before church. I'm starving like Marvin, and now that I can eat a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and eat. And I'm gonna get some gas and stuff for the week. But I love you guys. I hope y'all have a great day. God bless everyone. And always remember, if you have any strife with anyone in your life that you love or was a friend, a family member, and y'all ain't y'all out and out with each other right now, one of you reach out, okay, and try to squash it. Even if you think it's not your fault, reach out to them, because it might be the best thing you ever did. No, I'm not going to eat at Macbeth either. It might be the best thing that you ever did. You know, I've had some relationships where we had a falling out for one reason or another. I didn't think it was my fault. I reached out to them and said, hey, you know, whatever. and we was both honest about what happened, and they came clean, which made me feel better, and like, okay, you're honest, we can move forward. And it was some of the best relationships I've ever had. So, you know, work it out, people. In this day and age, we need every loved one, every friend, every neighbor that we can get. And if you walk with Jesus, it's always better. I know some of my followers, subscribers don't. They're not Christians or whatever, and you know, I don't push religion on anybody. I would always want everybody to be Christ-like and walk with Jesus. That's what I want for everybody. And if you need any help getting there, just reach out to me and I'll try to help. I love you all. God bless everyone.